Another time. Give me love. Give me sex.
Welcome to Let Pause Racing Season 2 of Racing. We will be racing Super GT of 2006, Nissan, Honda, Toyota. Hope you are having a good day. Hope you are excited for the first round of the season, which is looking to be like quite a good season from pre-season testing thus far. Joined here in the commentary booth is the absolute gem of a person that is Adam. Adam, say hello.
Hello there. Don't shine me too much because I will lose my touch.
Wonderful. We're very happy to have him aboard because commentating without him is a bit of a arduous process. His matches only have somebody to bounce off of. Right. Season.
Oh, I'm supposed to bounce there. Okay.
That's alright, we got 6 minutes of practice. We have shrunk it down the practice session so there's less of us driveling on random nonsense and more for you to enjoy racing. Or quicker to the racing anyway. So, Season 2 of Let's Go Racing. Same prices as last time. Drivers compete for the coveted prize of a Toblerone and a trophy. Most of the Toblerone, I think. Is useful. You can eat it. We have 8 tracks that we'll be taking this season on around the world again. Just like last season. And we are starting off with Fuji. So let's have a look. Well, first of all, let's have a look at the calendar that we have prepared for you. Round 1, Japanese store at Fuji Speedway. Round 2, and every week, Saturday, same time. With round 2 happening at Marina Bay. Then we will move to Watkins Glen, stateside. Then Brazil for the Interlagos. Before moving to South Africa in Kyalami. Finishing off with a European tour at Barcelona, Circuit da Hack, that place in Corsica, and finishing in Germany. 8 rounds, 8 weeks, 8 brilliant races that we're hoping to have. 27 response. Half of the group could not make it today for one reason or another, but we have had more interest this season than last season, so hopefully there will be a full grids for you to enjoy. And we're introducing Pro Am series, where we will split the grid into Pro and Am. However, they all compete for the same points. There is no split points between them, and there is still one overall standing that the amateur drivers can compete in their own mini standings. So they have a thrill of fighting for championships. Teams Championship, again split to 2, Independence and Teams Championships. So we have something for everyone. So let's have a look at Fuji Speedway. Where is it? It's in Oyama, Japan, near Mount Fuji. The track that was opened in December of 1965, and the first venture was, it was supposed to be for NASCAR. It was supposed to be a massive track, two massive straight joined by 2 ovals, 2 banked corners. But funding and lack of interest meant it was finished as a road course. So Fuji, as the county starts, wasn't used to, well, 6 hours of Fuji in World Endurance Championship, GT World Asia, and obviously the series that we are running now, Super GT, and of course Super Formula. It was also used in Formula 1, MotoGP, Asian Le Mans Series, and the World Sports Car Championship, which, as we know, no longer operates. The lap record set by Felipe Massa in 2008 for Formula 1 race team. I don't think there will be cars that will match Formula 1 just yet. Right, 3 minutes left on practice. Let's see what's happening around here. We have Johan Karolczak, the fastest lap time thus far. 10 drivers out on the field today. Yes, it's the Nissan awesome, fantastic. Right, I have driven on for long enough. How are you doing, Adam?
Doing okay. You mentioned no car is most likely gonna get to the same speed. Super Formula is trying its best.
Super Formula is. I think that's the series that might get the closest.
I've actually seen cars from a different league with the RSS Formula Supreme, which is pretty much the 2019 Super Formula car, going around here, and battling can be very close and, well, in some cases closer than close to comfort.
Just noticed that I completely forgot to equalize the volumes for everything.
Am I down in the cave again?
Yeah, you're all good now. You're all good now.
Don't help! Don't help!
There we go. That's all good. Should be all good. Hopefully, the chat will let me know if any of the volumes are a bit off. Right. 10 drivers out on track today. Let's see if we we have a few more still connecting to the server. I believe most people who should be said they're racing are on today's, which is good, fantastic.
So what has changed between the end of the previous season and the start of this one? Give us some lore updates.
Well, I think the biggest change is the server has received new. Ooh, that's a nice low spin from Johan. The server has received upgrades. We've moved to a new server, which should provide more stability for our drivers. Apart from that, at the start of this season, the interest that we've received has blown our expectations, and which prompted us to create a new point system and a new classification with Pro, like I said, Pro and AMS, based on drivers' performance, mostly how they perform around single lap pace and the potential. We will split them into Pros and AMS. That's very dynamic that we're gonna want it to make, so there is no sandbagging, you know. So we will move drivers up and down. There will be a sign at the end of this race, and it's basically to give the AM drivers some the thrill of fighting for the championships even if they normally wouldn't be able against some of the aliens we have today, like our current championship, our current champion, Ike Maraver. And to add to this mix, we have Johan, Matthew Hever, Juan Gramage, Juniper Baker. It's quite a lot of fast drivers here. So it's basically a series for everyone. The more participation we have, it's always better.
Are you still spelling the full name of Icarus team, or they changed that up from last season?
Yeah, that's those are main changes. The other change is, well, cosmetic, I would say. Since we love working with our affiliates, we decided to name every single race or round after one of our major affiliates. So for the opening round, we are opening with our absolute favorite, Toblerone. Hence the Toblerone Japanese World Tour. And speaking of, if you want to support us, you can hit a link down below under our screen, and you can order yourself a Toblerone using that link. You will be getting yourself some sweet chockies and supporting us in the process. But yeah, this round is Toblerone sponsored event. Hence, you can see the curbs are more of a Toblerone color and a little bit more Toblerone than other sponsors for this race.
There are more names on the sponsor segments as well, I see.
We've been on a recruitment drive, I can tell you that much. we don't stop we don't stop growing, and we don't plan on stopping, you know. We want to be able to pay all of our indentured workers.
Oh, I just noticed that there's karting park right next to the right on the behind the trees. This track.
Yes, I have read the message. Yeah, I have that set up very nicely in the second here, if needs be. I can quickly change at the very end. For the race and qualifying, I'll use substandings because I think it's better. Should be better anyway.
And the drivers are coming out of the pit lane.
They indeed are, but one by one. We have 11 drivers out here today. Out so far. I think we were supposed to have a few more join us during qualifying. But let us hope so. How many were we expecting? Let's have a quick check. We were expecting 13 drivers, so just missing 2, to be fair. And by the way, if you are interested in joining us, and joining the series, we do have a drop round. So even if you miss this first round, you can still be eligible for full points during the season. Sign-ups are still open, and they will be ongoing throughout the entire season. Even if you just want a part-time race, like 1 or 2 races. We see Arnold Ferrer with a My Little Pony liveried Nissan.
It also has Homer Simpson at the back. I think I noticed that.
We do have a very yellow NSX. Who's currently out the pits first? Johan leading the charge, with Ika right behind him getting a very nice tow down the straight. Right, the qualifying starts. The first, the out lap is complete. Now the shootout for who will get the extra point for pole position. That's another thing. Scoring, the only thing that has changed is we've extended points paying position to 12 points now. That was mainly driven by the Pro-Am standings and the fact that there will be that there has been way more interest since last season.
I'm curious how these two at the front will match up in this season. They were battling a lot in the previous season.
Indeed. It was a very Ike versus Johan battle, and sometimes Fulvio when he decided to drop in. But we do have a newcomer in the name of Matthew Heaven. We saw him on the very last round last season. Yes, the ballast is applied to all the NSX drivers. Yeah, so all NSX drivers driving with 15 kilos of ballast, and it should be visible in the. You should be able to check it in the main menu when you go back into the pits.
Alright, first laps are done, and Johan did 132.3, 132.7 for Iker.
132.7. Oh, interesting, because for mine, Iker hasn't updated. It may have gone offline somewhere. Invalidated a lap time. I have currently in my standings we have Johan Karolczak with a 132.377, followed by Matthew Heaven with a 132.667. And then it's
yeah. The relative shows the previous laps for me. That's how I have it set up. But yeah, on the main long TV tower, yeah, Iker is still in 7th place.
So that's all well and good. Qualifying the first start. From what I see, they have set identical final sectors. And I know from what it seems, Johan is the king of first half of the track, but the Nissan takes is very nice in the last sector. Very stable, very quick through there. So that will be a very interesting battle between these two brands, the Toyota versus the Nissan. Honda, Ike setting the exact same last final sector. So we have 3 cars setting almost identical lap times through the sector times anyway, as I'm being shown.
And Heaven is in 2nd place, just did a lap, 132.6. I don't know if it was valid or not.
It was valid, yes, 132.609.
Because he was in 2nd place even before that lap. That's the twist there.
What a twist! We have newcomer Sarah Van Viekland setting a lap time good enough for P7, 135.5, which has been a very, how do I put it, very favorite, very common time for the mid-pack. 135.5s.
It's a bit of a bittersweet situation for Sarah here, because originally they had a 12-hour long endurance race today in ACC, and from what little I saw, they had a bit of a crash there, and that helped her kind of to get into this race today.
I see, I didn't realize. Yeah, she was a final, literally final minute entry, so I don't think she had time to acclimate to the
She's literally testing the car around, right?
It pretty much is an extended test session at the moment. But for somebody in first time around the car, she's doing very well, all things considered.
Yeah, she's a very fast driver when she knows how to get around the circuit with the car.
Welcome, ARAM TV.
So if you follow her, you can see that there are a lot of like little corrections here and there in the corners that she needs to do. I think that's because this is literally the first time, including the the pre-practice that we had on the server.
Yeah,
That
she
she's driving it, and she overcooked it into turn 1 now.
improved her lap time, however, as she was crossing the line. She
Oh, Johan is down into second. Heaven is up into first.
yeah, with a 132.0, very close to the fastest lap they set in the practice service with a 131.9. Both of the drivers, Johan and Matthew, were within, if I'm not mistaken, half a tenth on practice server. But yeah, Johan is cooking. Purple first sector, purple's middle sector. What can he do in the final sector? There's 10 seconds between the end of the corner and the final straight line. It's a very long straight, one of the longest straights in the world. Can Johan get into 131s? He does! He beats his personal best by a tenth and goes top of the timings screen.
Almost gives two tenths to Heaven behind. Also, I do find it funny on this circuit that the second sector ends in the final turn and the last sector is literally just the straight.
Yeah, it's a very odd. I blame Tilke for that one. Tilke is the mastermind of Sector 3. And you can tell by just how the enjoyment roller coaster of the circuit, like Sector 1, 2, oh, this is pretty good, and then just it just goes into like, oh my god, this is dreadful, when Tilke gets his hands on it. I feel like you could have done with much better last sector. It's good technically wise, but it's just because it's good technically doesn't mean it's good, you know? Like, driver enjoyment is a very important part of a circuit design, I feel. Meta back representing Sunset Overdrive, I believe the team is called. Hoping to contest this season. He's got brand new hardware, so hopefully he should have less technical issues on his hand. But very interesting what he can do now that we are very sure that these machines are very comparable. I think I spent about 800 laps over the entire off season balancing these cars to one another. As we have seen, when Meta gets into a car that suits his style, he can be a real good driver, especially the battles we've seen with Arnold in the last round of BTCC.
In the meanwhile, Matthew Heaven is having a terrible lap. He was kind of held up at turn 2 because a slow driver was ahead and he wanted to let him by. And now he has Johan behind. So I don't know if he's going to let him by. I don't think so because it's the final sector and... No?
I think they're both backing up a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like Johan was having a moment there as well.
I think they're both going to have another go in for a fast lap.
I'm terrible with flags. Which one is a hint for me connecting in 11th place?
Ooh, I think that's an Ethiopian flag.
Are you leaning forward to the monitor?
I got my actually, you know, I'm gonna take my phone out and zoom in. I believe it's an Ethiopian flag.
Model problems, model solutions.
Yeah, no more binoculars. It's the phone. Oh god damn it! Go away.
Reminds me of that.
Away. Hang on. We have a scammer in our chat.
Oh, side by side there. Arnold just got led by.
Go away. Let me ban you. There we go. Go away. We do not accept scammers here. Go sell your Dogecoin somewhere else. Did I accidentally remove the ban? So fine. How are we doing? Oh, thank you to follows. Thank you Crested Island, thank you Aram, and thank you G-Dave for your follows. I have not been keeping attention to that one because Streamlabs does not display it for me. Wish it would. No. No, Seb. However, I will give you my Venmo and we can negotiate. PayPal.me if you get my drift, you know. Awesome, wonderful. Wonderful, 2 minutes on qualifying. How does it stand? Ike Marava is not having a time of his life, it seems.
Just getting around.
Getting around.
See?
His personal best around this track is a 32.2, I believe.
That was a very bad lap, 133.4 or so. Looks like a lot of drivers hit a rock bottom with what can they produce, but with 2 minutes left on the clock, maybe everyone is trying to put together that one perfect lap that they can do.
That could be the case.
Johan is still in the lead and on track. Oh, let's see, Matthew Heaven is just getting around to finish his lap, but I don't think that sector was fast enough. Because, previous lap for him was also 134. Let's see what this one will be. 133.9. So that's not enough.
Still time for one more lap. Ike will have chance for one more lap. Riding on board currently with him. He's a second down still. Just not connecting the laps together so far. Wonder if he's been out so long that his tires have just gone. But yeah, Ike not matching his personal best thus far. Let's see, he's got one more chance. Let's see what our current championship.
Oh, 133 flat. Almost.
Got personal best in the last sector, and now
Can still do another one. He had like 12 seconds on the clock when he finished that lap, so he's on his final lap, truly. Everyone who's getting around to do a lap now.
Had a lock
or finish this lap.
Had a lockup in turn 1. Never goes personal best in the first sector. He's only 10th and a half down from Johan. The Honda should be much stronger in the final sector.
Alright, Matthew is finishing his lap in the pits, so he's not gonna finish the current lap. Next one to get close to the line is David Cook. He's currently in 7th place, only 600 faster than Sarah in 8th place, so the two of them are pretty close when it comes to lap times, and they're driving the same car. Those two might be ones to look out for in the race.
Ike goes wide in one of the corners. I think he may have invalidated the lap time. That is half a
Ooh, big moment there from Cook in the final turn. Flies the rear end and he's bailing out from this lap as well. He's going into the pits. So let's check Ike here.
Ike is not doing well. He's half a second down in the second sector, so I feel like he's going to remain P3.
132, yeah.
Unfortunate from Ike. Wasn't able to improve. Something just did not vibe between the sessions.
And here comes Matthews. And what was that? 137.3. Wow.
So, as it currently goes in the standings, we have Johan Karolczak taking the pole position with a 131.8, followed by Matthew Heaven 2 tenths behind with a 132.0. Further behind, we have Ike, our current champion, with a 132.7. And then we have Crested Island with a 33.1, followed by Sebastian Crow and Meta on Turk within 10th of one another. And we have David Cook Sarah van Fiepland, hope I'm pronouncing that right. Arnold P9, Breitmeyer in P10, and Me Connect in P11. So, 11 drivers. Let's see where that gets us. Very shortly. So Johan has managed to completely exceed, I think, the capabilities of his own car with that lap. Let's see if he can keep it for the entire race. It's one thing to get a pole position, and as they say, races are not won on Saturday. Oh, races are won on Sunday. Unless it's Monaco, and you can make a train. That's a very, very... Right. Here we go. 90 seconds, well, 75 seconds into we get going. What's your prediction, Adam?
I don't know. I hope I'm in the pit lane. Nope. I'm using my teleport button to the pits, but it doesn't want to work.
That's okay. That's okay, you're at the end of the grid anyway, so you should be fine. You could probably just drive a lap if you feel like at the end. You could be the safety car, well, the medical car driving behind.
Knowing that my wheel is like a meter away from me and facing 90 degrees to the wrong direction because it's at the end of the table, I don't think that would be very safe.
Okay, you'll be the unsafety medical car. $30 seconds to lights go out. I hope all the drivers are ready. Hope every last need was satiated before the start. And hope everyone is ready for the race to begin. 15 seconds. The lights are coming on very shortly. 10 seconds. The drivers are getting ready. We have 3 lights. 4, 5, 6. This might be a long wait. And the lights are off and away they go. Somebody... Ikea had a terrible start, it seems. Ike had a very terrible start. He's dropping all the way down to P. Oh, we have contact at the start. Johan.
Someone sent it down on the inside there. Well, banged into one car, and that one car banged into the other one, and unfortunately Johan was the one to get the short end of the stick there.
But that means Matthew Heaven is leading and Sarah moving up to second place. With Meta up to P3. We knew how much bad luck Meta had in the first lap, first corner incidents. Now it seems he has passed it on to somebody else. Is this foreshadowing for the rest of the season?
Yeah, they're side by side, and unfortunately the American is going off track there. There was a collision between him and another car. Sent him into the barrier and bounced off, collecting another car there.
That is, if I'm not mistaken, that's Meta. That's Meta's lap 1 curse continues for Meta.
You jinxed him.
Commentators curse, but that means EK is moving back up to P3 after having a terrible start.
Oh, Arnold missing the apex there in the final turn, and that's helping Sebastian to move up there. So you have mostly a straight line here for the leaders here.
We have Sebastian Koog drafting behind Mateusz Breitmeyer. It's going down the inside. He might be by. Ooh, the Nissan is way better on the brakes. And David Koog gets a move done on Mateusz for P6.
And behind them there's Johan trying to do the same, but he will be on the outside there for the next turn.
It doesn't matter for Johan. Johan just uses that mechanical grip of the Supra. Is he going to try to go all the way around the outside? Goes a little bit wide, switches for the inside. Makes a lovely pass on David. David's got the slipstream now.
Yeah, you needed both parties to agree to that move.
He really did. David is gonna try and do a switchback and go wide, but now Johan's got him covered beautifully. How does it go? We have Ike. Ike just not enjoying himself thus far. He's falling back to Matthew quite substantially. To be fair, it's not going as badly as Johan, our pole sitter, 11 seconds behind Matthew.
Johan is gonna gain on the straight here, I feel. He might be fencing and moving into the first turn. He's about 7. No, not 7/10.
Crested Island with a slipstream behind Mateusz. Moving to the inside. Gets it stop and hits the apex very nicely. It's a very good move by Crested Island on Mateusz. Ike Marva now catching up to Sarah.
Past the sector there. Not sure if it was personal or overall. I think it was overall.
If it's purple, it should be overall.
Yeah, I'm using the Gran Turismo HUD. I think when it's overall fastest, it shows up purple.
So, Sarah, newcomer to the series, holding P2 very nicely against seasoned vet of this series. And it looks like Meta has made the move on Mateusz Breitmeier. And as we can see, we have cars within 1 second of each other up and down the field, P7 to P10. Every single car within 1 second of one another. Johan gaining on Sebastian. And I think he's got a much better drive out of that corner. Let's see if he's got enough horsepower to make the move down into turn 1.
Oh, looked like Ike was flashing the lights a bit there on Sarah. On the straight.
Johan pulls out to the inside, gets it stopped and hooked around. Blocks a switchback by Sebastian, very nicely executed by Johan.
Only 6 seconds to what is it?
To the leaders.
To reduce. And my Sarah is more than 5 seconds behind Heaven now.
Indeed, we have David Cook, a 0.8 behind Arno. But 0.4 behind him is Crested Island. And 0.3 behind Crested is Meta. So we are seeing a nice little train developing here. And let's see if Meta goes for this. I know he chooses the conservative.
Oh! Crested. Locked up there. Almost ended up in the back of the other car ahead.
Oof.
That promotes Meta up into 8th place.
A little bit about breaking himself, I think.
Alright, let's see. 0.6 between Sarah and Ike. But let's see how the straight plays out here. On the previous lap, Sarah with the Nissan seemed to stretch the gap out on the straight.
Meta got a nice, way better line than David did after the final corner. And they're now side by side with one another. And I think Meta is going to take it into turn 1. To put himself up into P7.
Plenty of space between them, heading into turn 1. David gives plenty of space on the inside there.
Try to hang it around the outside. Meta went very conservative on the inside.
Oh, they almost go side by side for second as well.
Oh, contact! There is contact between David and Meta. Allowed Crested to sneak by David. Rubbing is racing. It's like we're racing BTCCs once again.
It looks like either Sarah had a moment or something, but Ike was able to get around her. And Ike is now up into second.
Must have missed
at the same time you say there's a contact is when that happened, so.
Multiple things happening at once. Sarah is dropped to place. but Ike has lost quite a long gap. Now Matthew can relax a little bit, but this battle for P7 is still ongoing. No one wants to give up. That's just letting Arnold run away with P6. Arnold seems to be quite happier with these cars than he did with the BTCCs. He's putting in a remarkable... Oh, we have Meta spun! Meta has spun. And unfortunately, he will be demoted to P10 after that. Now, was that self-inflicted or was there something to do with it? Crested crept up to Arnold very quickly. May have changed Arnold myself.
I checked the replay on Sarah's stream and looked like it was a switch that Iker did. So Sarah was trying to go the inside and Iker went from the outside to the inside, and that's how he got past. Either way, after turn 2, both cars, the same ones that I talk about, went a bit wide there. I think they are very much pushing, trying to catch up to Matthew.
Ooh, big... I wouldn't say big slide, but a slide from David Cook. That would have scared a little bit out of him. David's pushing to get that P7. Crested is trying to pull away. Put up a 1.1 second gap on a 1.3 second gap on Arnold already. At the same time, Ike trying to pull away himself from Sarah and try to close the gap to Matthew. It seems like it's a little bit of a quiet before the storm, it seems.
Except if you're checking the pits.
Oh, Sebastian held off. He's gone wide, and he's falling down the order.
And he's going into the pits? No, never mind. It just looked like it because he went for the white lines there.
I think he got a little bit overzealous on the throttle.
So yeah, I was half joking when I said if you're checking the pits, because according to the timings, both you, me, and Sarah are in the pits with half a tenth between us.
Yeah, half a tenth. Like, how do you measure a tenth when the cars are not moving? Meta locking up the wheels.
Unfortunately, that could have been a moment there for Meta to get a place there in turn 1, but looks like he's still keeping pretty close there behind the NSX. Looking for the outside there.
The NSX is way easier to drive out of the corners. It is a much stable car. The Nissan is better throughout the corner, but sacrifices the exit for that balance throughout the corner. The NSX initial turn...
pretty close. Goes for the inside there. Or rather...
Maybe he does. But he's on the outside now. Can he switch back again? He can.
There.
Mateusz goes very wide out of that corner. Can he hang around the inside? Can he get the inside line now? He does. Can he make the move, however? Force Meta a little bit wide to make a mistake.
This is pretty nice to see. Both of them are giving each other enough space there to go side by side throughout the twisty bits there. And Meta is now up into 9th place thanks to that fair play between the two of them.
And I think Meta had the better exit out of the corner and will pull away.
One thing that I've noticed talking about the balance of this car is the Nissan seems to be having a bit of a better either acceleration or top speed. On the long straight, they can stretch a bit out compared to the other cars.
It might be also due to the wing angle that the drivers are driving. Some drivers
could be that.
A higher
yeah.
angle.
Either way, Johan is now right behind Sarah. Half a second between the two of them or so.
Big lockup from Ike right there.
Still more than 2 seconds ahead of them, so it's gonna be between the two of them here now.
Yeah, it's going to be two of them. The closest battle so far before Sebastian catches Arnold. Haven't had much time to downtime to discuss any of the current drivers. There's been battles up and down the field thus far, and seems like we had somebody joining at the very last minute. Because there's now 12 drivers.
James Dunn, and he's driving the
Okay,
same livery, I guess.
I believe he, James Dunn, I believe he's nicked the Juan's. As long as he's not doing anything to destroy the cars behind him, I think he'll be
He's on
fine.
its own for the time being, but it does feel like that he is testing the waters with the car.
A little bit testing the waters, but as long as he's not doing anything erratic or dangerous, I think it should be fine if he can just finish the race. However, I don't think he'll be earning any points from race 1. Bit of a late comer. In fact, we haven't anticipated somebody joining halfway through the first round. Oh, Johan goes down the inside into the Dunlop chicane. Sarah has him covered nicely. Very respectable between these two drivers. But it's costing Johan time.
Ooh, bit of a slide there from Sarah.
He kept it just within track limits, however. And that was a lovely opportunistic move. Unconventional, one might say. I don't think Sarah was expecting it. That was a lovely... you know what, that's taken me quite aback.
Let's see if Sarah can gain on the straight here, or if the Supra is better on the straight.
I think Sarah is
Looks
pushing a
like
little bit.
she's gaining. Yeah.
She's within the slipstream range that Corsa has. She's gonna try and go around the outside. Johan's gonna keep a tight line. That might compromise him on the exit. No matter how you put it, it's been a wonderful first race performance by Sarah. To duke it out with our current champion and a strong contender for championship last season, I think there will be quite a lot more that she'll be able to show in the upcoming rounds, especially when she gets acclimated to the car.
And when she has her own colors to promote on the car.
Hopefully we see a lovely livery.
Nissan on Nissan action, and looks like both of them lose it in P7, P8.
P7,
The rear of both of the cars split out after the turn.
Either it could have been due to neck coding, or it could have been due to both of them being overzealous on the throttle. You have to be... Yeah, here's the thing with these cars. Now that we've switched from front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive, yes, you have less of lift-off oversteer and brake oversteer, but you have a lot more oversteer on exit if you're not careful. I think some of the drivers may need to adjust to that after 12 weeks of driving front-wheel drive cars that you can just floor out of the corner. I think the only car you can do that is actually the NSX, but even then it's a little bit of a risque maneuver.
It looked like Arnold was going off a bit on the straight. He might have some damage. That car is tweaking around on the straight a bit. Oh, lock up into turn 1, mixing the apex as well.
I think it's something that we've just noticed from this simulator in general. Even when you're on the edge, or most drivers are on the edge, they will lock up. You will see it, well, either so Corsa says they're locking up, I don't know, or it's exaggerating how much they're locking up with the smoke.
Yeah, it's
Ooh, very wide for Meta.
it's a thing with shaders patch and online servers, because it's not as exaggerated in single player races. So I'm guessing lack of info coming through, or not as refined info coming through with online races.
It could be mostly. I would put it down to like netcode, too much packet data and stuff like that.
Could also be the amount of smoke generation that's set up on the user's end, or
Yeah, could be as well. Oh, we have a spin from Meta once again.
can because he was pretty close there.
Well, Meta just not having the time of his life this time. Somebody who moved up quite nicely avoided his lap 1 turn 1 curse. However, end of sector 2 curse got him instead. Or the remainder of lap 1 curse got him. But as it currently stands, we have 2 more laps remaining. I believe it will be 2 more laps. The standings are Matthew Heaven has been leading the entire race thus far. Johan had a undesirable lap 1 incident. Sarah managed to profit very nicely from the whole kerfuffle, and she's running a wonderful P4. Ike promoting himself to P2 after, I think, stalling on the lights out. Matthew Heaven with the fastest lap of 1:32.3. Matt, yeah, it's going to be very interesting how the
Last minute coming up on the timer, and Auron is...
so that will be
He
the
might be in a bit of a trouble here as P8 is catching him.
there is Sebastian. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, spin there in the final turn.
Spin from Arnold. I don't think it was contact. I think it was just
Nope.
pressure getting to Arnold. Oh, that's going to bring down the mood from such a wonderful performance that Arnold was.
I think he was already carrying some damage that he was trying to cope with, and now hitting the car again into the wall might be even more damage on the car now. Because he was one of the cars that was part of the double spin earlier, like a lap or two ago, and now he's into the wall again. Or was into the wall again, yeah.
So the final lap with Matthew leading, which meant...
And already coming around to finish it, I think. He's on the straight here. Yep. 13 laps, done and dusted. Here comes Matthew Aaron.
Matthew Heaven wins the first round, the first race of the first round of the Super GT Championship, with Ike putting in P2 and Johan recovering out to P3 after that first lap incident. Sarah coming across with a P4. Let's quickly set up to change to oh boy, ACTV. Crested Island in the top 5 on his debut, with David Cook being followed by Sebastian, P6, P7. In a grid dominated by Nissans and Hondas. Johan told me that it seems like the Toyota is going to be the new Nissan Primera. Like, hardly anyone's going to use it due to the difficulty of the car in comparison to everyone else. But
yeah.
Meta takes P8 with Arnold P9. Mateusz taking P11 and Miconnect getting to P11.
Iker is mentioning it in the in-game race chat. Sorry for the start. My Prezif rules the perfect moment.
Hardware problem. That's the worst time that for it to happen. However, the first race of the season, 12 drivers thus far. It's been exciting, all things considered. It seems like the field has been able to battle with one another. I think there's more drivers between one another. I would be very interested to hear what the drivers have to say about the car's performances throughout the race.
I'm wondering, like you mentioned, you guys have a different server now. Is there what is it? Is there a possibility that returning to pits is disabled on the server, and that's why I cannot use my hotkey?
return to server should it be? I have auto start
Not
enabled.
return to server,
Oh,
return to pits.
Return to pits. I have the auto start enabled and it throws me to the server just fine.
I'm just wondering why I couldn't like, because it was doing the, you know, the animation when you use the content manager option to like to return to the pit. It's like teleport to the pits.
Yeah.
But it just simply didn't put me into the pits.
It should be. Return to pits is enabled. We had drivers go be able to do it in practice and quali.
And not the end of the world. But yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely suggest downloading auto start system. It's just easier. You don't have to press buttons. The only problem is when you forget to disable it and you go into a game and you're like, ha, I'm in the pits. And as soon as you try to leave the pits, the game's like, back into pits you go. Stay in your naughty corner. Right, because James Dunn has completed the race, he's starting P1, which I think he should be starting P last. Assetto Corsa way of doing reverse grids. We have James Dunn in P1, followed by Ali Campbell, Me Connect in P2. Mateusz Breitmeier on for P3, P4. P5, P6, the Sunset Boys of Meta and Sebastian. P7, P8, David Cook and Crested. Let's have a good view. That will do. Sarah, we have P9, P10, Johan. And P11, Ike Marver. P12, Matthew Heaven. Reverse grids. Yes, top 12. Top 12 is reversed indeed because our point system extended. So, that is everything. Have a good race, everyone. The lights will be out. The Man 99 NFS. James Dunn, okay. Yes. I don't think I can race, but James Dunn race has crashed. So I think he won't be starting.
Oh, and we have collision there.
There is collision indeed, because James Dunn has warned us that his game crashed. And unfortunately, but I don't think there has been a big enough impact that happens. Cars stall on the grid all the time. Unfortunately, it has happened. And this time it's a crash, and there hasn't been that much of a fallout from it, so I think it's fine to continue.
Yeah, they went very casually through wide into turn 1 and into turn 2. And now Aulen is in the lead, Meta second. But for how long? He had a bit of a slide there on the rear. Now they are going side by side, almost 3 wide again. Johan is the decider. No, he's staying behind. Rico train here into the twist a bit.
Oh, big lot of cars coming through. Maybe Cook on the inside, switching to the inside.
Me Connect is dropping down in the SS section. Also the third is staying single fight here. So Aulen is still in the lead.
And also in the lead, Crested Island. Being attacked by Matthew, but attacking Johan himself. Matthew with the overspeed of the Nissan must be running much less aero. Drafted
side by side.
Johan now.
Side by side for the lead. And 3 wide behind them. Oh, Aulen locks up. Goes massively off.
Better going wide.
Oh, collision.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but this will be something to be looked at, I think. Better retaining P5, however. Arnaud back into P2. Sebastian now leading.
And they temporarily went 3 wide if I saw it correctly. Arnold
did
is trying
indeed.
his best to stay second, and they are going side by side behind him.
Oh, a little bit of contact. More contact by Meta. Johan is spun around.
Again,
Again. Not.
very unlucky
I
night.
cannot make judgment now, but he's not going to be very happy.
Oh, side by side there, and
Marcus.
Arnold has lost a place there. He's now down into third. Has a bit of a contact there between the two Nissans there. Bumper to bumper moment. And Iker is now trying to go around Arnold there.
Makes his move down the inside. He's just got so much more confidence on the throttle. The Honda really gives you that confidence on the throttle that allows you to pull these moves.
They might have been in a moment between Meta and David Cook because Meta was going slow and David was trying to let him by, but Meta didn't want it to, so the both of them slowed down there and lost plenty of time. They are pretty much on their own now, starting a group there. Crest Island is on the inside there, heading into turn 1.
Johan having a bit of a deja vu moment. He's back in last again. So we have Arnold Ferrer in P6, P5. P6 we have Sarah Van Vliet trying to make her way back up, see what she can do. In the meantime, Sebastian keeping a 1 second gap to Matthew, but for how long he's able to. Ooh, bit of a lock-up from Arnold. That's going to really allow Sarah to close up
Go
on
around.
Arnold.
They're going for the outside there, side by side. He's gonna be on the outside there for the next turn, but Arnold and... Oh, okay, that was nice. Took around the outside there.
It's a very nice move by Sarah. Arnold didn't seem to fight it too much. Matthew now closing up to Sebastian rapidly. He cannot enjoy the final sector of the racetrack in the slightest. Matthew thriving in that last sector. He seems to find the lines that just give him so much grip, so much time, so much confidence.
Oh, side by side for the lead.
I don't think there will be much competition at turn 1. He's going to be long gone by the time they hit the braking zone.
Matthew into the lead.
Just
Have a look up that from a crested.
Side by side with Johan, with Mateusz, forcing him a bit wide. And we see Sebastian still keeping the 0.4 behind. But it might be a repeat of Matthew buggering off into the distance once again. With Johan having to fight his way through the field once again. But wow, Matthew in that last sector, I do want to ride on board with him for a little bit, because to be fair, watching him from behind, just look at him, he's got so much more grip, so much more confidence.
Sebastian went a bit wide in second place. Oh, and he's going very wide.
Yeah, you can just see watching behind Matthew that in that last sector, that's where all of his lap time comes from. All of that half a second advantage is the final sector from him. Even against cars in the same cars, it's just half a second. He just figured out that Tilkadrome monstrosity.
Behind them, side by side on the straight. Arnold's gonna be on the outside, Meta on the inside, Meta with a lock up there. Arnold is gonna have the inside there, question mark? No, Meta is closing the door there. Nope, you're not coming in.
He's closing the door, but Arnold is in the slipstream range. So if he can stay within 0.3 of a second, oh, and Sebastian and Ika have swapped places at some point. So Ike back into P2.
David Cook might be getting a place here. He's pretty close to Arnold there. Has a look on the inside, but doesn't go for it. The twisted bits will be the decider here, I feel.
But behind him comes the charging Frenchman, who is not particularly happy with how the weekend has gone.
Ooh, up on the inside there!
That was a very opportunistic maneuver. Arnold gets him back, however, but that was a wonderful, wonderful piece of driving.
And Johan is there as well now. Ooh, Arnold dancing with fire.
Dancing with fire. As we see Johan slipstreaming by. Let's see which one of them is running more downforce.
Johan is a bit further ahead, but Cook had a car in front of him. Either way, Cook is allowing the best to happen there. And Johan is now up into 8th place.
Remember, no matter what category you will be put into Pro and Am, every single point counts. You are all fighting for the same points. Johan just catching Arnold for all the corners is like finding just the perfect lines.
Yeah, part of me wondering if David let Johan by, so he isn't the one to try and overtake Arnold ahead.
Might be smarter, all things considered. Johan is an alien, and if battling...
Oh, there he goes!
Oh, very, very opportunistic from him. I think you might be right. David letting by Johan might be strategic, so he doesn't lose time battling Johan and gets too far behind Arnold.
Either way, he's still back where he was a lap ago. Trying to find a way around Arnold.
Fastest lap set by Matthew Heaven with 1:32.429. And now David has the slipstream on the longest straight on this calendar. It's just from memory, don't quote me on that. Don't fact check me.
Ooh, look up there. David could have had the opportunity there on the inside. Just like how he had the hit behind the previous laps, but he missed the opportunity there.
Okay, one commentator too loud. Okay, let me just adjust that volume. Thank you for pointing that out. I was playing too much with the settings.
Now, which one of us?
Ah, it was you, definitely. This should be better looking at the mixer. But that means I need to turn my headset back up.
David and Arnold are still battling here. Almost bumper to bumper in some sections.
To be fair, I wish we had cams for this that were a little bit higher and better position.
What, like the trackside cameras?
Yeah, like trackside cameras that were a little bit of a high, because it all feels like very low down. Most of the, like, I've seen the F3 cameras be most, low down. I think there's only 2 sets. The TV one. Very interesting. So
Yeah,
I will look.
He's pretty much one of the saviors when it comes to trackside cameras, because a lot of tracks would come out without trackside cameras, and Badaba, he was one of those guys to come out of the woods, out of nowhere, and started to make trackside cameras. So these days, most tracks that come out, he just has the cameras already made for them.
I think we're gonna have 2 more battles joining. Crested looking for a podium finish, and Johan.
Oh, David! Oh, that almost ended up being a disaster there. very close on the exit there, but he had to go off track there to avoid the collision.
Oh, and now we have Johan attacking Meta, trying to salvage more points. I feel like there's going to be quite a few unhappy people about...
Oh, collision! Arnold
Oh.
and David Cook.
Ooh, like I said, I was just saying how there might be quite a few unhappy people with some of the racing around here.
From what I've seen, Cook had nowhere to go as the rear of the car stepped out ahead of him.
That's giving Mateusz Breitmeier a chance at P9. And how's it go? It's Johan still pressuring Meta. Meta just staying, just not allowing Johan through. Is there a little bit of contact? Or is just the way the car moves? I could not tell you.
Crested might be battling for third as well. Gaps are around 5 to 7 tenths in some sections.
He kind of seems to have stabilized his gap around 1.82 seconds. Sometimes faster, sometimes slow.
Oh, Johan is fencing the inside
Is he
question
gonna
mark.
go? No,
Nope.
Johan will not send it unless he's 100% certain that he's gonna get the move done. And let us remind ourselves that Meta is on a controller. So for drive on a controller, Meta is doing a very fine job. And definitely that new hardware seems to be helping him. Ooh, both of them go... Oh, it's way a bit too wide. So Johan Karocek, Toyota Gazoo Racing, number 22.
We might be getting close to lapping the field here. Connecting to just a few corners ahead on track.
Indeed, we do have one lapped car, but that is mostly due to technical issues. Ooh, that's very close. Meta has taken that corner very slowly, forced Johan to slow down. I wonder if Meta is trying to hold up. Oh, is he going for it? I thought he was gonna go for it if you were talking to me.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it. The hint he was going for it.
And the brakings that Toyota seems to be much better. Or at least Johan is way more confident with it. Now here's a move. Here's a place where Johan can make a move. He's thinking about it. Now, if Johan can stay within 0.3 of a second, I think he's gonna be able to pass him into turn 1. But getting the power down on the Toyota out of the last corner is very tricky. That car is extremely twitchy under throttle. So where Mete might be able to go full throttle sooner than Johan for a longer period.
Oh, he's gaining.
He is gaining.
Meta is going defensive on the inside there.
He's going very defensive. That's going to compromise him. That compromised Meta a lot. And it seems. And saw Johan go through, but he has lost so much time battling with Meta. That top 5 finish might be outside of his capabilities, even for someone like Johan. The top 5 are not slow drivers by any stretch of the imagination. They might be some of the fastest drivers here.
3 minutes left. Ace Crested still has the chance to get to that place.
There's still a chance for Crested.
He's been around a second away from Sebastian there for a while now.
We seem to have quite a large number of Americans flooding into the server. We have Crested being one of them, Juniper Baker from last season, Ali Campbell, which I believe is Meconnect, all from US. So a lot more representation in North America.
So Nikon is supposed to be with the US flag as well?
Supposed to, but it depends how they set it up. However, for some reason, I did set the server to overwrite their names, but it's working out as well as you can see. The shenanigans of AC server hosting, I suppose.
I'm not gonna be angry if you set my name to Mike George, I'm just saying.
John. I thought next time I might set it up for something worse.
The P3 and P4 just left. Nikon there.
Indeed.
Thankfully he stayed out of the way, quite far on the outside.
It has allowed Crested to catch up a little bit closer to Sebastian. But Sebastian seems to have a measure of him in the final sector. Just looking at the intervals. Oh, we have a spin. Arnold has spun.
And looks like Cook is slow there as well, so I'm assuming maybe the two of them crashed again.
I'm not too sure about that, Adam. There seems to have been quite a gap between them two.
Or maybe one of them saw the other crashing and be like, oh no, I'm slowing down just to be sure.
I think they've. Oh, we had Meta who had lost a lot of time.
Oh, another half spin there.
Meta lost some more time to Arnold, so I think Meta has had a moment as well. But as I was saying, I think what happened is they all decided to have a skill issue at the same time. In the same place even. Ooh, a bit of a slide from David. David's, I think, pushing or cooked his tyres. Pardon the pun. Ooh, and I think now he really cooked the tyres. You could say David cooked his tyres. He's gonna have to take it easy on this very last lap. Yeah, this will be last lap. Matthew Heaven is just entering the final sector with 15 seconds to go.
Will he wait it out? No, he's... Yeah, this is gonna be the final lap. There's no way he's gonna finish that long straight.
Let's face it, there's about at least 20 seconds on that straight. Leader is on the final lap. Let us switch to ACTV for just a few moments. As we see Matthew Heaven going down the final straight, followed by Ike. Gaps are closer than lap times would suggest. Sebastian Crow under pressure from Crested. Will they have? I think Sebastian is going to be able to keep his podium. Matthew Heaven, the race winner for the second time in a row. Ike P2, with Sebastian taking podium in this debut round. Celebrating, Crested taking a well-deserved P4. Just outside of the top podium. I think they could be happy. Sarah coming back with a wonderful P5. Johan, I think he'll be disappointed in the P6, and I think he'll be more frustrated because I don't think it was any of his fault. He's been driving some great recovery drives.
And here comes Meta as well.
Meta coming P7. Arnold with coming down with a P8. A good finish regardless. Mateusz with a P9. And David
then
Cook
comes Cook.
coming back with a P10.
Unfortunate race too for him.
Unfortunately, David Cook has been a very strong midfield driver today. I cannot say anything against any of the drivers. They've all been very strong midfield drivers today. I think they all deserve the a lot higher points. We already have some people who are very happy with the results. And what a race! Matthew Heaven winning twice. He had so much pace today. That final sector from Matthew Heaven was, I think he just had it figured out. He just set up the car just the way he could, even though dampers are not allowed. A lot of like advanced stuff is not permitted, but still, he could just find a pace where no one else had. And as is tradition, what did you think of the opening race, Adam?
It was pretty good, even though we had like, what is it, like half of the field couldn't make it today or something.
More than half of the field. I think we had 13 drivers that said they were coming. One of them did not turn up.
You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell the hint by how much action was going on that half of the field was not here.
Now imagine if
They more than made up for it with
They-
action on track.
they definitely did, and there's a lot of drivers who are so close to each other that there's action up and down the field. We have had, let me give you the statistics thus far on our sign-up events. We had 58 drivers who signed up. Out of the 58, 27 responded, and only 12 showed up. The 14 drivers said they wouldn't be able to make it for one reason or another, so don't hold it against them. But man, have they missed a hell of a opening round that could have been.
Yep.
So I can only imagine what the race it could be with all 27 drivers that when they all say yes, I'm racing today.
Hope you guys aren't gonna eat me alive for this, but I need to bounce off.
That's perfectly fine, Adam. Thank you regardless of joining me today. It definitely wouldn't be the same stream without you.
Thanks. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to make it to the other rounds as well. I'm not sure these days. It's hard to tell if I can make it or not to something. And yeah, let's hope I will be able to join the servers as well if I can make it.
There's definitely hope so, Adam. So far, so good.
Yeah, 1 out of 1. It worked. All right. Enjoy in the interviews, guys, and the rest of the stream. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us, Adam. I will send you a Toblerone for this.
I'm still waiting for the one from the first one.
I will send you 2. Let me get paid. Let me pay my rent first.
You don't have to worry.
I'll send you 2. I'll send you
I'm
2.
already,
I'll send you free.
I'm already fat enough.
I'll send you free so you can do the next season as well.
Am I getting bribed already?
Yeah, you're getting bribed already. You have no choice. You're getting coerced.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Have a good night, Adam. Right, first interview we have Johan Karolczak. Wonderful pole position. You pulled up an amazing lap time, but just the race did not go as you wanted.
Yeah, well, I'm still digesting a bit both races, but yeah, I got the pole. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure why Matthew could not put a similar lap, given I think he had the pace, and in the race he has the pace too. But yeah, both races they did not go. They were not what I expected from the starting grid. First race, I mean, turn 1 incidents, they're kind of they are unavoidable. I mean, some stuff happens, and once this car gets a tiny glimpse of slide, it's uncatchable. So that's what happened there, and I had to wait for the entire field to pass. Yeah, just going up the field. I think P3 was the best I could do according to the circumstances. I could have got P2, but I don't think I could. I would have been able to challenge for P1 even from starting from pole. He had the run on me off the start, so I think there was nothing I could do. So it's just one position lost. It's not that hard, but race 2 was is the one I'm still digesting at race 2. Is yeah, a lot of questionable driving all around in the first 2 laps. Was fun maybe, but lots of missing awareness, I'd say.
Do you think?
So that was a bit long, sorry.
Yeah, that's alright. Do you think changing from something much slower like the BTCC to Super GT might take a little bit some people to adjust to the driving style, I suppose, and the speed that these cars can carry?
Yeah. I think half the field didn't drive in the BTCC. So I think it's mostly just getting accustomed to the cars and to the difference between the front and the back of the field, given it was the first race. I mean, it was the first race of the championship, but race 2 was the first time we were confronted with the reverse grid. So it's the first time faster cars were confronted and were on track next to the slowest car. So, I mean, people have different levels of awareness, different pace, and all of this mixed all together makes for a dangerous cocktail. And it was okay in BTCC, the car was slower. They were also, I mean, a bit harder to entirely lose control of. So that might play a card. But yeah, I just have to switch from hot-headed during racing to a calm down and thoughtful analysis after race. But I mean the racing itself was good. The cars are, I think, as close to equal as you can get on this track at least. The Zed had the upper hand in straight line speed. Could not had a very hard time to go around the middle of the pack in using the 350Z. But yeah, overall great racing. Just only from my point of view, I just suffered some bad stuff. Yeah.
Let's hope that next races are much better. Because definitely you put based on the first race, yourself, Matthew, and Ike, I think, are the most likely to win, to battle for the championship. I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. All of this will depend on, I think, mostly the strengths and weaknesses of the cars in the following tracks. Next one in Singapore, right? So I don't think my car will be too bad there.
I think with the initial turning that the Supra has, it might have an upper hand on
Yeah.
some of the cars.
To be honest, I made some radical setup changes for this track because the most important thing in this car, I think, from my point of view, and cars, I think it's the same problem for all cars, is the front tire temperature. This will influence a lot your ability to turn in and grip in the initial part of the corner. So I was running, I think, maximum toe out and a lot of camber from the front axle in order to get the most temperature I could get on these tires. For Singapore, and the car was really reactive once you turned in, given you can tune the dampers. Yeah, for Singapore, I think this car will have the upper hand. It's got the best of both worlds. It has a great turning and great braking, and this will be very important there. Traction is quite as similar on all cars. Yeah.
That was the. I think I think you answered one of the questions in terms of how the cars are balanced to each other. But in your opinion, they seem to be quite balanced to one another overall.
From what I've seen, yeah. You've got. I mean, I was the only one driving the Supra, so there's no point of reference for the middle and the back of the pack. But if we take the NSX, the Honda, and the Nissan, both cars had an equal amount of cars up front and up back, low back. So I think pace was quite equal on the entire laps, given both all drivers may have different sets of strengths and weaknesses also. Um, The NSX was much faster in the cornering and corner exit, and also in the initial turning. As I said, was much better if tuned for the track with the lower swing. Had phenomenal traction, acceleration, and top speed, but lacked in mid corner grip and corner speed exit. So on this track with such a long straight, yeah, all things were good. I'm not sure how it will evolve for all the following tracks, but I mean, we cannot say anything until we're there, right?
Indeed. Kailami is going to be the only one that's going to be uh, and interesting, because I think that's the one where I have to do a special BOP for all cars, because it's just such an outlier that for reasons I cannot explain.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
remember your data for Kalami. I don't know why, but I trust you on your method for gathering this data. But I don't know. I feel this will be very setup sensitive.
it might be. Regardless, I think we need to move on to the people who are waiting. Johan, any
Right.
final words you would like to say?
Thank you, and it's very positive for the rest of the championship. It was great racing if we discard what happened to me. So great stuff, great cars, and can't wait to watch the stream.
Fantastic. Thank you, Johan, so much for racing, and
Thank you.
we hope that the rest of the season will go smoothly.
I hope so. Thank you.
Anyway, let's bring in the Sunset Boys. We have Meta and Sebastian joining us together. Hello, Meta, Sebastian. Well done to both of you. There were a few issues here and there. However, you guys secured a podium for Sunset.
Yeah, that was. Just
Yeah,
had
I
to,
could have got
hold
P3 as well, but I fucked it up so many times. I mean, I am ashamed myself.
Indeed, however, Meta, no lap one, turn one this time.
No, there was lap one turn one incident. You should check that.
With yourself.
I mean, I sent down inside. I killed two people. I think.
Well, at least you didn't end up in the wall lap one, turn one. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, walls were not close to the track, so I avoided. But in Singapore, I don't know what will happen.
That's okay. Well, you have quite a run of a lap on turn one.
Yeah, the one corner we've run off.
How did you guys enjoy yourself around Fuji?
It was actually quite fun.
Yeah,
Just
I
trying
mean,
to stay consistent.
I am middle of the ground. I mean, the track is good. My pace was good, but the Nissan is not L happy, so I had to like back off a lot, so I couldn't go.
Yeah, like the car had insane pace in the race compared to quali. I improved 8 tenths on my quali lap in the race.
Yeah, same. Like we just raised the front right height and we gained like half a second on a lap. So yeah, I
Yeah.
was like pushing Johan like a lot on the last. So yeah, I had lost pace.
I think you Nissan boys definitely had the advantage when it came to straight line speed.
Yeah, Johan couldn't catch me on the slipstream. I was pulling away. I mean, I was using mid downforce setup, but I don't know, maybe toe angles or another shit. Maybe helped up.
I know Johan said he was running maximum toe on his tires.
Yeah, maybe
Oh.
that's why.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Supra requires a little bit more downforce to keep it stable.
Yeah, like you could run this car with pretty much zero rear wing, so I was pretty fast in a straight line compared to everyone else.
Yeah, I tried to rear wing, but I think it needed a bit more downforce on the last corner because
I think
last
I did
corner was
too.
last corner was really did not have tail happiness like on the NSX. I tried NSX as well, but that car was really good on the last corner, but the Nissan didn't have that grip there. I didn't expect some of the laps. I overtook David, I think. I didn't expect that grip. Like I had lots of traction there. I don't know. That car is not happy on the rear.
Then you're also on a controller, which doesn't help.
Yeah. I mean, I saved a lot. That.
Yeah, so we might have to give you some bit of a brake power control for you, and I might put you into the pro category. However, I will have to look at your guys' lap times and see if you end up in pro or where do you guys feel like yourself self?
I mean, we should have sandbagged a little bit, a little bit. I mean, Seb was, I don't know, Seb was really fast. Usually I'm
In
way
race
faster.
2, I was very fast, but in
Yeah,
race
I
1,
race
not
two, I
really.
was flying as well. But I mean, I don't know how Seb managed to get P3 and I get P7. I usually faster than him in GT class, so I don't know.
Yeah, GT cars are not my speciality for sure, but this one works for some reason.
This one has a little bit more downforce than the GT cars, I believe.
Yeah, but it's not only that, it's a way like you drive it. You don't have to be so smooth. That's what I'm bad
But
at.
I can, I want to say this: GT 500 racing is much better than BTCC one. I can say that.
Yeah.
I had lots of fun while racing. Yeah, I crashed into people, but I was holding up people and going side by side. But yeah,
It could be also track dependent. These cars
Yeah,
drive on a way
Singapore
more.
could be a good track.
I'm kind of scared into Singapore because this car doesn't have that cornering facilities to to
Yeah,
adapt.
but in
Yeah,
Singapore is also a track I know very well, and the car is good on curbs.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
something I've
yeah.
seen compared to
I
the
know
others.
Singapore as well.
So what you guys telling me is we should expect great things from you from Singapore.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe not.
I'm gonna take the pole position and lead the race by 30, 40 seconds lead.
Yeah, and I'm gonna lead then from P3 by another 40 seconds.
I mean, I'm gonna do only one lap and stay in the pit lane like Sebastian Vettel did.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Also, how do you guys feel uh, with the fact that there is more than half of the field said they couldn't attend?
Well, it'd be more fun if everyone showed up, and that
I
that
mean,
also allowed me to get P3 because there weren't enough people that were fast.
we have still four people, at least four people to join the league. I mean, Cole and Hayden couldn't join because ACF training, and there was Azam's stream team. They are doing 6 hours, I think. They couldn't join as well. So I mean, yeah,
Indeed.
around 16, 17 cars, great. That will be really good.
So far, we had 58 people that signed up, 27 people that reacted to our announcements. So, based on the people who actively said they are not racing, there's a possibility for a 27 car grid.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But then also that lowers the chance of getting points.
It does a
There will
little
be
bit.
a larger grid.
It does a little bit indeed. However, I think we need to move on further to the interviews. Thank you, gents,
Yeah.
for racing, and I will be expecting
no
a lot
problem.
from you from Singapore, and I hope you enjoy the racing here.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Yeah,
See you.
thank you. See ya.
Okay, so that's them, and let's see. We have a few more. Let's just have a little bit of a chat. Who's first to join? Let's just go with first. First to join voice chat. Let's see. That was pretty much the same time. Let's do Crested. Crested almost had a podium in the second race. Very well driven throughout the race. How do you feel?
Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. It was race two was definitely better than the first one. I think the first one I got totally punted into into the low chicane, and from there it was a race to just get back up my spots. But the race two was super fun. I had a good battle. I wouldn't really call it a battle, but following the third place for the fight for the podium, that was very fun. So yeah,
Very glad you have enjoyed yourself. Is it your first time driving these cars around Fuji?
it is. It is. I'm usually, just driving whatever, but these cars are completely new to me. The all Japanese kind of style. I really do like it. And this race, the race two, definitely proved to me that these could be really fun cars to race. But yes, first time driving these kind of cars.
happy to find that you are enjoying and that you find these cars very enjoyable to drive. How was the how would you rate the competition and your own performance? Do you think you can have what it takes to compete for the top spot in the pro category?
Well, I think the top spot in the pro category is a bit of a stretch. It was kind of like I was sitting in third, fourth, and fifth, so like the upper middle pack or like the lower upper pack, you know. So I think it'll definitely be very difficult to race for maybe even a podium, you know, because I got fifth place in the race two, fourth place in race one. So I think just that step up might be a bit of a challenge. But other than that, you know, I might be able to score a podium. Who knows?
You know, all things considered, you're saying that this is your first time driving these cars. I think you've done extremely well, and I think you might surprise yourself with a surprise result this season.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking to do some more races. Of course, you know, like I said, this races are super fun. I went three wide, I think two times in the second race. So it just proves how competitive this field is, and I can't wait to do more.
Fantastic. We are very happy that you are joining us. Looking forward to Singapore.
I am. These Singapore is a completely new track to me. I have no clue about it. Fuji I have some experience with. You know, Sector 3 in Fuji is really hard, but I kind of got around that. But I don't know what to expect in Singapore at one bit. So I am looking forward to a bit of a bigger challenge.
I can. I feel like out of the three cars, NSX will be at the most disadvantageous in Singapore. Quite contrast, if you ask me, to Fuji, where
Right.
uh, the because the NSX has a very good exit. You can just punch it out of the corner without worrying too much about it.
Exactly. The mid-engine really helps.
Indeed. Well, we are very happy that you are enjoying yourself. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Nope, that's good for me. I really appreciate you interviewing me. Have a good day.
Fantastic. We are very happy that you have joined us, and we hope to see you for the rest of the season.
Will do. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Well, take care of yourself, and we bring our twice race winner, Matthew. 2 wins, 2 races. Everything just seemed to fall right in place for you. Your closest competition just seemed to have an issue here and there.
Yeah, I was talking to him just for this interview. Like he had some sort of accident in the first race. Second race, I didn't quite see what happened, but yeah, kind of bad events for Johan. For me, I mostly just kept my nose clean, and it worked out for me.
You
And
seem
then once I was in clear air, I was able to just maintain a good pace.
I think good pace is an understatement. You completely blitzed the field. I think you set fastest lap in both races. That final sector, it just seems like you figured out that last sector and just gained like half a second on your competition through that sector.
Yeah, Venissen is really good through that last bit.
Fantastic. To be fair, even watching you against other Nissans, it just seems like the lines you picked, it was just so in sync. I think you were the only person who figured out the Tilkadrome last sector.
Yeah.
Missed out on pole, but 2 race wins. How are you feeling for your chances of battling for the championship after today?
Pretty good. If I'm able to have clean races, then I have no doubts I'll do pretty well.
Excellent. In this in the first races, when you were managing the gap to Ika, were you managing the gap, or were you just gung ho the whole time when Ika was pulling closer or running away from you?
Made a couple, well, big mistakes in quotation marks, losing half a second here and there, but um, I was able to refocus towards the end and create a bit more of a gap. I didn't really feel pressured, but you know, you just have to be conscious of that and try and maintain it.
Well, you seem to have controlled it very well throughout the racing. How do you feel the other cars are in respective to yours in terms of like balancing?
Uh, I I haven't tried the other cars around Fuji, so I can't really comment on that. Uh, I did give all three cars a go, before the balance of performance changes, and I thought, for the most part, they were closer than I expected. If I was to put one car above all others, then it probably might have been the NSX, but I think how they are, I don't think it's the car being a factor here, mostly the driver.
Good, that's encouraging to see from my perspective, and I won't have to go 800 laps again balancing them. Singapore, are you looking forward to the track?
It's track I'm not really familiar with, but I like the challenge of learning new tracks.
Think you'll be able to repeat your success from today?
Hopefully.
Well, let us hope so. Well, thank you again, Matthew, for joining us. Well, again, well done on the double win. That gives you quite a lead in the championship already. And do you have any final words to say?
Not really. Just hope I can keep this momentum going.
Well, let us hope. Let us hope so. Well, I say let's hope so to every single competitor, because I am an unbiased party in this whole thing. My legions lie to the audience to entertain. So thank you again, Matthew, for joining us, and we hope to see you back in Singapore
Yeah, thanks for having me.
again. And let us see if Ikea here wants a interview. Stream sound is low. Is it my mic or compared to the others, or the stream as a whole? Let's see, Ikea. Ikea, P2, both races somewhat eventful, somewhat uneventful.
Yep.
First race, did you stall the car?
No, my PC stole,
Said,
not the car.
Ah.
My PC just froze in the middle of the shift. Oh, sorry, when the lights go out. I imagine it's because of smoke.
It was the worst
Sure.
time to have the PC freeze. Could have been worse. It could have been into turn one.
Yeah. Sorry about if I cause any problem. I just saw my rear bumper a little bit yellow, and everyone passing me. I didn't saw what exactly did I cause. Behind me.
I'm not sure there has been much of a fallout. I think most of you just avoided you. But P2 in both races, how do you feel after that performance?
Good, very good. I was expecting P3 as the best result possible, because these two guys, Johan and Matthew, were very fast in practice, in quali, and in race pace. But I cannot make it to Matthew, and Johan had a very bad luck. As he said, the fate is not with him today.
Indeed. How are you fancying your chances at defending your champion status this season?
I'm not planning to win. I'm going to do a Max Verstappen. I won something already. I don't want to win. I don't have that objective as I had it in BTCC. I'm just chilling, trying to win as always, but not that focused and not that try hard. I want to rest as well. My brain is a little bit still tired of BTCC, even a month after it finished.
Fair enough. The NSX was hit with a 15 kilogram ballast after the
Ballast?
ballast. It was the Hondas were running 15 kilos of ballast in between the test race and now. Do you feel that is too much, or do you feel like the cars are now equals with one another?
I die in the straights. The Nissan goes, okay, see ya. What is a slipstream? See ya. I cannot follow any. I don't know about the Supra. I didn't have the time to check it, but every time, no matter who it was, in the Nissan, I was to 0.4, 0.35 more or less from what I saw in the relative. Remember that in the test race in Istanbul, I think it was. Um, that's the point where the slipstream starts having a real effect and being overpowered. Not today. I go from 0.4 in the exit of the last corner to 0.6, even sometimes 0.7 if they have a suppose a low aero setting or setup or whatever.
I know a lot of cars were running with like
Also,
two wing.
running this in summer is dying as well. I want to die
It's
because of the heat.
quite lucky where I am, all the way up north, as far from
No,
the equator
here is
as
not.
possible.
My forehead is now Niagara.
Uh,
I
s-
cannot.
so you would remove a little bit of ballast from the Honda yourself.
Yes. You will remove a little bit of the Honda.
It's from the it's down to the opinion.
I felt faster in the corners. That's also something that I want to point.
Yes.
But I don't know if it was because of aero. I don't know if it's because of the ballast. Because maybe from the guys who I saw the most, it was Johan and Matthew in front of me. They just slam it into the straights. But once I get into the end of the first sector and start of the second one, when the flat dry handle starts and everything from that part, I just start to gain on them. But as soon as I gain, I just lose it into the straights. As I said, I don't know if it's because of setup as well.
It could be a lot to do with setup. I know
Yeah,
Johan, for example, was running max toe. Um, I know the
max
Sunset,
toe.
yeah, like a lot of toe on the front to keep the tires warm. I believe the Honda doesn't need to do that. It can keep its tires a little bit better than the others.
No,
Uh,
sometimes even you have how do I say, overheat in the front left because of that fast right hander.
and I believe the Sebastian was running two rear wing on the Nissan.
I cannot remember if I was behind him and if I have the same conclusion. I think so, but I cannot remember clearly now.
Well, Fuji is, I believe, the longest straight you will face. So
Yeah,
next
I know.
next challenge, Singapore. How do you feel about that?
Never drive on them. Never drove. Never.
I can.
It's at night.
It is. It will be at night, so I can sum up the track for
Oh,
you in few simple terms: 90 degrees, 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 start
oh,
finish.
like Adelaide, but no chance to die.
Yes. Oh,
Well, maybe
well,
I have more or less the same chance to die.
I think the was a little bit close. Well,
Maybe it depends of how narrow it is. I have some memories from F1 races, but I cannot even remember uh, which corners were where. I mean,
well,
I cannot remember anything about that track.
well. Uh, Happy to have you back here, and let's hope your teammate
As
Juan will be able to make it next
Yep,
next race.
now he's in competing in real life, so it's a little bit difficult to. It was a little bit difficult to him to compete now today. Also, like something to say, the chocolate is still alive. It's very delicious. I just tried some days ago uh, because I'm not very fan of sugar. But even if I'm not that fan, the chocolate was Toblerone. Please buy.
Dobra.
Choose the link.
Plugging our merch for us. We will give you the part of the earnings for that.
It was very good.
But very happy that you're enjoying it. But I guess you're most happy about your trophy.
Yeah, it's very good. It's in front of me right now. It's good. The only thing that I can say it's the part when where it says my name
Yeah,
and
the
Elite Pro
plaque.
Racing, that thing is coming off.
I think that is that might be due to shipping. Royal Mail is
Nah, at the moment it's alright. Just I just arrived from work and I just saw how the that plate it was falling off from a side, but nothing to worry about. I have glue in my house. It's not that problem. Apart from that, it's a very good quality. I didn't expect this heavy trophy and how good it is.
you're expecting a 3D printed one.
Yeah, to be honest, yes. I
No,
think I
only
didn't ask more for than that.
only the finest for our drivers. And anyone watching, if you are not signed up, you still have a chance to compete. 7 races still left. Drop rounds. So all 7 races. Still chance for you to compete for a real life metal trophy and the Toblerone.
Sweaty races, that's for sure.
Sweaty races, indeed. How about
I'm going to eat that chocolate and I'm going to burn those calories in 2 or 3 races more.
I think you might need it with the amount you sweat. Anyway, thank you, thank you, Kerr, for joining us. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
finish up here before we talk all night long.
You guys for as well for organizing again this and giving us the opportunity to have fun.
Indeed, and fun is the number one aim of the game. Anyway, thank you, Ika. Off you bagger off back to the voice chats with the race of the drivers. Round 1 of Super GT from Led Pro Racing is done and dusted. We are expecting a lot from the series today, all things considered. Especially if more of our drivers are able to turn up, the possibility of 27 cars is very much on the table, and even more because the registrations are still open. So feel free to drop a link to our or join us in our Discord. I believe my colleague Sarah will be able to provide the link in the chat. Sign-ups are still open. Even if you miss today, you are still eligible for the full 7 rounds. So all to play for, and a trophy and chocolate on the line. So, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to the drivers for driving with us. Thank you to everyone who watched today. Thank you to Sarah for helping me behind the scenes. Thank you to Adam again for helping me commentate. And as of now, enjoy royalty-free Eurobeat.